Hi guys, Lindsay
And Tracy.
here with Storybook Family Farm. So, you know how like homesteaders, especially those that are like filming things on YouTube, should kind of be at like a higher level of like professional and knowing their stuff. Yeah, if you're looking for that level of stuff, it's probably not us because we just made a really, really hugely embarrassing mistake. And we've been making this mistake for what, like 5 months now?
At
6
least
months?
I would say 6 months-ish.
Yeah. So, let's get into it. So today we had planned on breeding some rabbits. Specifically Thelma and Louise. So Tracy went to breed the rabbits this morning before it got really hot. And you just have to forgive our geese. They know that their time is coming very soon, so they want to talk about it. So we'll just walk away. Geese are not one of them homesteading animals that you could totally hide in town if you lived in town. They're not like Bantam chickens.
Noisy.
Yeah, they're not like Bantam chickens or quail are at all. So like the Bantam chickens, we hid them in our garage for quite some time. I wouldn't sit on there. There might be a bunch of ticks. I mean, it is tick season. But anyways, so the big mistake that we had made and the most embarrassing thing that we have recently done, well, I'll let Tracy tell you.
So Thelma and Louise are Tom and Lewis.
Yep. And how'd you discover that today?
Well, I put one of them in with our one buck that's on the ground, and they chased each other around. They didn't really do anything successfully. So then I took the other one to put it in with our one buck that is up in a cage. So like I'm putting it in there and I'm like, that looks like it has balls.
Yep.
So there was they were running around the cage. They almost had a rabbit fight. I had to hurry up and pull the other one out. Then I got Lindsay to come out and give me some assistance because it's really hard when they're like 10-pound rabbits to hold them like this by the scruff of their neck and try and check their genital area to see if it is a male or a female. Turns out they're both males.
Yeah. So for those of you that think, oh, what idiots. Okay, sexing a rabbit is really stinking difficult. We're normally pretty good at it, but this is the first time that we've ever had a litter be born that only had 2 rabbits. When they first were born, I told Tracy, I think they're both males. Mind you, this was at the end of like rabbit breeding season last year. So it was like, I think like February or something like that they were born. Maybe like January. I'm not sure exactly when they were born, but it was like an accidental breeding had taken place, and yeah, things happen.
That's why we're not a fan of the colony breeding, because you cannot control when your animals are being bred.
Yeah. So when I first sexed them, I said, oh, I think they're both males, but I'm not 100% sure, because with rabbits, you really are never 100% sure until they're significantly older. So when I sexed them again when they were older, still very difficult to do, I was like, okay, I think they might actually be both females, but I'm not 100% sure because, like I said, it is very difficult to sex them. But I knew for sure that they were both the same sex. So one of the easy ways to sex rabbits is when you have multiple rabbits and you have some that are males, some that are females, because it's literally like a millimeter difference in size.
Yeah.
To tell if it's a male or a female.
And it's basically you're looking at the slit to see.
Yeah, when you depress it, if it stays there or if it pushes out ever so slightly. So if you don't have some like multiple sexes or whatever of either sex, it's almost impossible to determine which it is until they're like, well, these guys are probably about 6 months old because they're, we kept them as being potentially, one of the geese must have hit their wings on the fence or something. It was a weird noise. But so we kept Thelma and Louise to be potential breeding does, and now we know that they got to go.
Yeah. So they'll be heading to freezer camp this weekend.
Yeah. So they're still young enough that they're going to be tasty for us to consume. A lot of times with older rabbits and stuff, we do end up making dog food with them just simply because of the fact that they're going to have a stronger, tougher taste and texture and things of that nature. So normally rabbits are butchered when they're about 12 weeks old or so. But by the time we were moving here, they were actually like, I don't know, probably close to 12 weeks old.
old.
They were about butcher size actually.
When we moved here.
Well, I think they were like 8 weeks old. They were kind of small still. Because remember they fit through and escaped from the rabbit tractor?
Yeah.
When I was taking Willie to school, I found them running around the yard. So I had to turn around and catch them.
That's because they knocked the feeder out.
Right. Yeah, which they can't do that now. They're too big.
Yeah.
But yeah, so normally we're butchering rabbits at about 12 weeks old. So they're, about 5 pounds live weight and then, like 3 pounds or so, 3.5 pounds hanging weight. So they're still, a good sized animal and they're a really sustainable meat source on the homestead if you sex them right.
Yeah.
So these guys, they would have been in freezer camp months ago, shortly after we moved here actually, but we had nothing set up for butchering, nothing set up, period. Like, it's still like we're running it like, basically like a skeleton crew. If this was a pirate ship, it'd be on a skeleton crew and half of the skeletons would be ghosts.
Yeah.
Like, we are like barely winging it. So like when something like this happens, it's like you just want to shake your head and laugh about it because it's like, it could happen to anybody at any time. But it would naturally happen to us after, like, we just shot a video saying, we're going to breed Thelma and Louise because we decided to give them names because they're going to be breeders. We're going to breed them tomorrow. And, breeding was not successful.
No.
I do think it's bizarre because they were in with their mom for quite some time and they never bred with her. So that is kind of surprising. I know that she does have babies now, but we bred her to another male and it was the exact time length that she should have been to give birth, that she did give birth. So we know for sure who the father is,
Right.
and stuff. But we're not planning on using any more males because we currently already have three breeding bucks.
And one is very old. That is why we have 3.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like the last...
We don't need to have more bucks than we have does.
No, it's kind of like our goat situation.
Yes. We have as many males as females.
Yeah, we run a very efficient ship here. But that's what happens when you have a big heart and you fall in love with certain animals, especially when you got a bottle feed a baby goat because its mama died. You kind of get attached.
Or
yeah.
you buy the extra male just because you don't want him to be the only one left.
You don't want poor little Winston to be lonely and stuff. But yeah, so this weekend, after the Saturday market, probably Sunday morning, come hell or high water, we're planning on taking care of some of the geese so that way they're not so intrusive. And Tom and Lewis are going to be gone, and probably a rooster or 2, maybe 3, I don't know. Somebody that we know had mentioned about potentially giving us a couple of their roosters that they don't want. They don't feel comfortable dispatching an animal or butchering it, but we obviously do. We have quite a bit of experience with that. So we're all for free meat, even if it is meat that's just going to go into dog food.
Or cat food at this point.
Yeah, the cats did. The cats, I keep experimenting giving them some of our homemade dog food. So today I gave them a little bit more that had more meat in it and a little bit less vegetables, and it didn't have any rice in it yet. And it disappeared pretty quickly. So I definitely think that they're going to transition well once they're done with kitten kibble to just eating the same homemade meat and vegetable ration that our dogs do. So that's going to definitely save us money and make it more efficient and easier to just be concerned about making one animal in the house as food instead of trying to make separate batches of different things. But I think that's it for today. I did just get done baking all the bread for today's market. So we got to get that all weighed up, bagged up, and get ourselves ready to roll. So yeah, even if you watch some homesteaders that are on YouTube, do not ever think that they know everything or that they are perfect, because we definitely...
A lot of them are like us. They're winging it as they go.
Yeah, and hoping that they don't make a big mistake the day before saying, oh yeah, these are females, and then finding out that they have testicles. Also, side note, rabbits' testicles do not descend until they're like breeding age.
Yeah.
So
6 months old.
Yeah, they stay up inside until they are that old, and then they just sort of like are still kind of hidden by fur, only until you pick them up. Then you can see the fleshy bits, and you're like, oh. But yeah, even when we've butchered some, it's been hard to tell if they were male or females. Like, that's how difficult it is. Even when you have them hanging there, you're like, I don't know if that's a penis or not. Like,
yeah, you can't really tell until you actually like open them up.
No, even some that I've opened up.
Yeah.
I still am like, I think that might have been a female. Like, there's been some that's been very questionable just because that's just how rabbits are. They're not like roosters and stuff. Or goats. Goats is very easy to tell. The day that they're born, they're like, oh, that's the boy,
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
we can put a male and a female rabbit right beside each other, and you would not be able to tell which was which.
No, because Tracy can't sex them. She has to wear progressive bifocals, so she can't even see it to tell if it's a male or female. So she's always the holder, and I have to get like 6 inches away, and I'm like, is that a pecker or not? And stuff. So it's always kind of funny, especially being a homo trying to see if it's a pecker. But yeah, with that note, we're gonna hop off here so that way we can get some things going for the market and see if we have some cherry tomatoes ripe that we can take today.
Probably not. I picked them pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, we might have some though. Get a bag or two.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if you're enjoying our content, please give our videos a thumbs up. Share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. We would greatly appreciate it, even if you're just subscribing to pick fun at us.
Laugh at our mistakes.
Yeah.
We laughed about it.
Yeah, we always do.
Our
have
son really laughed about it this morning when I'm
Yeah.
like, so breeding didn't go so well this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, and I told him, I'm like, I think we'd have a higher chance of getting you pregnant, buddy. But yeah, so with that note, we're going to get going so that way we can get things going. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.